Okay, so that was my hotel in Amritsar, the Hotel Exotic. Really, really good hotel. Really lovely guy who manages it, named Lucky. Really been helpful, really been supportive throughout the stay. So again, another hotel I would definitely recommend here in Amritsar. Amritsar is in the Punjab, so that's the north of India. Punjab was split in two during the 1947 partition. West Punjab became part of Pakistan, and obviously the other side became part of India. Population of Amritsar is roughly 1.5 million people in the greater metropolitan area. But I'll talk more about the partition later from the visits we're going to be doing today. A bit of background on Sikhism. Obviously, Sikh men are easily identified by their turbans, but Sikhism was founded in the 1577 by the fourth Sikh Guru, Guru Ram Das, from Pakistan. The epicentre of world Sikhism and a place of pilgrimage and home to Sikhs, and their holiest shrine is Harmandir Sahib, commonly known as the Golden Temple. And it is the aspiration of every Sikh to visit the Golden Temple before they pass. So Sikhism began in the Punjab in the 15th century, based on the spiritual teachings of Guru Nanak. And for those familiar with Gurdwaras, which is the Sikh places of worship, a lot of those are named after Sikh Guru Nanak, and it spread to the rest of India and worldwide in the mid-19th century. Today, Sikhism is the fifth most popular religion in the world, with approximately 25 million followers. 16 million of those are in India, 80% of whom are in the Punjab. The Sikh goal in life is to be one with God, so to live a good life, do good deeds, meditate, look out for your fellow man, basically. And the faith or markers of identity for Sikhs are 5 particular things. First is the kanga, which is a small wooden comb used twice daily to look after uncut hair. 2 is called the kesh. Sikh men cover their kesh with a turban. That's the most recognisable aspect of Sikh men, as I sort of described earlier. Number 3 is the kiran, or a short dagger, which they carry on their person. 4th is the karesha, which is an undergarment. And 5 is the kara, which is like a silver bangle, which you will see lots of people actually wearing. So that's a bit of a background on Sikhism and what Sikhism is all about. So we're just going to have a stroll to the Golden Temple now. Really chaotic, as you can probably see. And right there in the distance is the outer building part of the Golden Temple. I need to get a head covering soon, because I'm not allowed into the Golden Temple as a man without a head covering. So, getting closer now. I think we can see where everybody is heading. This road, I walked up it last night in the torrential rain. It's amazing how quickly it's dried out. This was underwater last night. They're selling all manner of goods. Textiles, jewellery, shoes, clothes. And I do need, shortly, to get my head covered as I approach the Golden Temple. I'll catch up with you when we get to the building. Real vibe about the place. It's amazing. It's almost like a sense of excitement for people. I guess if it's one life ambition to see the Golden Temple and visit, then I can understand probably why they're excited about it. The expectation is you walk clockwise around the complex. I'm just coming this way just to get a little bit of a a shot for you so you can see what the outer part looks like. And this marble is so bright in the sun. Should have brought my sunglasses. And there is a tantalising glimpse. I actually came up here last night. Although it was raining, the actual gold was spectacular. The lights on it really brought the place to life. Okay, so I have my head covering, 20 rupees, which will be a fantastic souvenir of this trip. I'm now going to make my way to the shoe deposit. You have to take your shoes off before you go into the Gurdwara, and I will see you shortly. You're expected to wash your hands and wash your feet as you enter the complex. I had to switch to my mobile phone now, as cameras are not allowed in to the actual Golden Temple area. And that's my first glimpse of the Golden Temple. What an absolutely stunning building. Absolutely stunning area. So the fourth Sikh Guru, Guru Ramdas, founded the Golden Temple in 1574. It was completed about 30 years later. Rebuilds have taken place over the years, but what you see today was mainly the result of the rebuild of 1764, and in the 19th century the gold and marble decorations were added to make it the spectacular building it is today. The panels on the second level are actually covered in 750 kilograms of gold. As I mentioned earlier, Sikhs call their temples Gurdwaras, which means pathways to God, and births, deaths and marriages are all celebrated in the Gurdwara. The waters surrounding the temple are also regarded as holy, which is obviously why you've got a man bathing, and other people that have been here today so far actually wash in these holy waters. I'm going to start walking around now to try and get some more shots. So 150,000 people visit this temple every single day, and in the Langar Hall, which is the kitchen, they feed roughly 100,000 people a day, and every Langar in every Gurdwara in the world offers free food to anybody of any faith, race, religion, creed. That's the centre part of Sikhism, you know, helping your fellow man and breaking bread with your fellow man. So we'll go into look at the Langar Hall now. The actual hall itself holds about 5,000 people. It's a colossal operation. Just their breakfast. So I'm not going to eat. I think that would be a wrong thing to do, because if people are going to feed me for nothing, then I should be expected to eat everything, and I'm not going to do that. Everyone that works here is a volunteer. And as you can see, people sit and they are given free food, which is a beautiful thing to see. A bit more behind the scenes, where you can actually see part of what goes on. The washing, the cleaning. Tremendous operation. If only there were more sort of religions or businesses, whatever it may be in the world, who are prepared to help their fellow man who can't feed themselves. At least the people in this part of Amritsar can, you know, be fed on a daily basis if that's what they actually need. I think it's a lovely thing. So the complex itself isn't just about the Golden Temple. There's also a museum, there's other small temples all around the complex. It's an incredible place. So I had every intention of going in to the temple, but you can see the length of the queues. I would have been queuing for about 2 hours, and I really just haven't got the time, sadly, today to actually do that. But what a fantastic experience being here and actually seeing this. So what an utterly incredible place, a beautiful building. I had every intention of going inside the temple, but the queues, you probably saw from the footage, were so long. I'd have been waiting probably at least 2 hours, which people did tell me would be the case anyway. And to be honest, I'm only here for what, you know, this is my last day in Amritsar, and I really haven't got the time. The other things I want to see. If you ever are in this city, you probably will be coming here for the Golden Temple anyway, mainly, but it's absolutely stunning, and it certainly lives up to every expectation. And I now wanted to take you to see somewhere which I believe is as equally as important to visit in Amritsar. Okay, so if you've never heard of this place, what is it? Well, Britain has done a lot of good things in India, but also a lot of bad things, and this was certainly probably the worst. There was a massacre here by the British Army on the 13th of April 1919, which was condemned at the time by Sir Winston Churchill, who was then Secretary of War. There was a peaceful protest going on in this area against the arrest of pro-independence activists, and the British were ordered to stop the protest by shooting. And they kept shooting until the ammunition ran out. Between 400 and 1,000 peaceful protesters lost their lives on that day. The British, at the time, suppressed the news of the massacre for 6 months. And the man who initiated the massacre, General Dyer, allegedly never expressed remorse for it for the rest of his life. He actually retired on a good pension, supplemented by a sum equivalent to about £250,000 in today's terms. He was also presented with a dual Sword of Honour, which I think in today's times, all of that would have been certainly stripped. He would have probably been imprisoned. In contrast, the families of the murdered victims received compensation of approximately £37 for each life lost. This actual episode triggered the non-cooperation movement led by Gandhi. It was the first step to Indian independence and the end of British rule in India. So again, if you do come to Amritsar, this is a really important place to come from British history and also Indian history. For those that don't know, when the partition happened, Indian people didn't know about the partition until the day of the actual partition, which sounds crazy in today's terms, so that was actually the fact. And when partition happened, India was split into 3 countries. India as it remains today, Pakistan, and East Pakistan, which is now known as Bangladesh. What happened at the time, because no notice was given to the Indian people, you had lots of Muslim people heading from India to Pakistan. You had lots of Muslim people heading from Pakistan into India, and there was an awful lot of violence and troubles on trains, etc., etc. And hundreds of thousands of people actually lost their lives. But we're going to be going into the Partition Museum in a little while, and you can see a few more bits and pieces relating to that when we get there. So we're heading to the Partition Museum now, and inside it will document the biggest migration in human history, as I mentioned earlier, with people moving from India to now Pakistan, Pakistan to India, and at the time to and from East Pakistan, which as I said is now Bangladesh. Not sure how I feel as a Brit coming here. You know, people have got every right to be resentful to the British for that particular episode, but the people I've met so far in this actual area have been absolutely lovely. They've asked for photographs of me, asked where I'm from. There's no sort of bitterness or anything like that, and I think that's remarkable testament to the Indian people. I've had nothing but kindness and friendship and, you know, friendliness really since I've been here. That's one of the things that's standing out so far to me on this trip. Some different streams of Indian nationalism had emerged against the British in the country. On one hand were the revolutionaries from Maharashtra, Bengal, Northwest Frontier, province and Punjab. On the other hand, the partition of Bengal in 1905 resulted in the Swadeshi movement giving more strength to the Indian National Congress. Massive peasant and tribal uprisings occurred in different parts of the country. Besides the constitutionalists, liberals emerged on the political scenery. A cultural renaissance also taking place, along with the press emerging as a strong tool for propagation of Indian nationalism in different Indian languages. Poets and writers fought the British too through their pens and recitations. The Indian nation had fully awakened and nationalism was strengthening day by day. And there's probably a better summary than I've given. Jallianwala Bagh is an everlasting symbol of non-violent and peaceful struggle for freedom by Indians and the tyranny of the British. It is marked with the blood of Indians martyred here by General Dyer, who opened fire on unarmed innocent people protesting against the Rowlatt Act on 13th of April 1919. This barge then belongs to Sardar Himmat Singh's family, a noble in the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. It was acquired by the nation on 1st of August 1920 for 5.65 lakh. The memorial befittingly names the Flame of Liberty was built here at a cost of 9.25 lakh and inaugurated on the 13th of April 1961 by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first President of India, in the presence of Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister of India. The Jallianwala Bagh National Museum Trust looks after this premises, requests all visitors to observe sobriety, therefore offering reverence to martyrs. Definitely said it better than I did.
ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਜ਼ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਪਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਕੱਟੜ ਅਤੇ ਸਭਾਵਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੋਕ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ दोपहर 12:30 बजे करीब जनरल डायर ਨੂੰ ਬਾਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਭਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ।
It's actually quite emotional being here. I think I'll be that. Maybe it's just my sensitive nature. But when you see what happens, my word. The people of India hate tyranny and oppression exercised by monarchs, landed aristocrats and British bureaucrats as much as any other unsophisticated, honest people. Ramchandra. So that is the Well of Martyrs that we're going to look at now. The Well of Martyrs, when people couldn't get away from the shooting initiated by General Dyer, men, women and children jumped into this well to get away from it, and many of them, obviously jumping into a well, perished rather than being killed by gunfire. Can't really see it in there, but it's very, very deep. Maybe when the sun's not on it, we'll go around the other side.
ਡੂੰਘਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਨੀਚੇ ਦੀ ਸੇਜ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਡਮ ਉਹ ਥੱਲੇ ਰੈੱਡ ਹੀ ਹੈ।
Okay, so we've seen the memorial, we've seen the Well of Martyrs, and we've also looked at the Partition Museum. I've certainly learned a bit more today than I knew before I came here, and hopefully, without sounding patronising, you guys have learned something too. So I'm just going to finish the video off now by showing you what the central part of Amritsar looks like, and then I'll be off to my next location, which I'm not going to share with you. You'll have to see where that is on the next video. But it's going to be nothing like Delhi and nothing like Amritsar. Reminds me of the souk in Medina of Morocco, Marrakesh. Daily life in Amritsar. Lots of people heading to the Golden Temple. Okay, so that does it for Amritsar. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly learned a lot today. A lot bad, but an awful lot good as well. Keep tuned for the next video. It's coming from somewhere completely different from Delhi and Amritsar, and I hope you're going to enjoy that one. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.